Hello. Today I will be talking about Ryujiro Sasaki, the one-armed dickhead from Samurai Champloo. In episode 1, we see Sasaki in the tea shop where he is fondling his brand new sword and he's being a dick to an old guy. Like, what kind of person spills hot tea on old people when they look at you? Anyway, when the governor's son tells Fu he wants one of her fingers in return for her spilling tea on him, Sasaki is the guy who volunteers to do the cutting. And continuing with the theme of him being a dick to everyone, he antagonizes Fu and is like, you better stop struggling or you'll lose more than just a finger, little girl. But before he can try out his new sword, he is interrupted by Mugen, which pisses Sasaki off. But to his credit, he does give Mugen a chance to walk away, so I guess he isn't 100% a dick. However, Mugen pushes a little too hard, and so Sasaki takes a swing, which would be his last with that arm, as Mugen cuts it right off. And while we don't see it happen, Sasaki runs off and finds some oil and a match in order to get his revenge on Mugen, and while Jin and Mugen are having their epic duel, he just sets the whole tea house on fire, which ends up killing the governor's son. You know, the kid Sasaki was supposed to protect. Good work there, guy. Not only did you get your fucking arm cut off, but you also failed your one job. And that's about all we see of Sasaki in episode 1. However, he is the main antagonist of episode 2. In episode 2, we see Sasaki free Oniwakamaru from prison, even though the prison guard warns him not to. And by the way, Oniwakamaru is a deformed giant awaiting to be executed. Sasaki promises to kill the people who hurt Oniwakamaru, which, as we see later in the episode, basically allows Sasaki to use Oniwakamaru as muscle. And Sasaki doesn't actually care about Oniwakamaru or helping him in any way, and is just using him in order to get revenge on Jin and Mugen. Sasaki presumably threatens the innkeeper to tell Jin and Mugen to stay at a shack in the mountains for free, but after the innkeeper does this, he just kills the guy so nobody would find out. You know, tying up loose ends. Sasaki then captures Fu while she's sleeping in the hut without either Jin or Mugen realizing because they're too preoccupied with their own affairs. After Sasaki captures Fu, 2 Kanto police officers confront him, but he tells Oniwakamaru that they have come to pick on him, which gets Oniwakamaru to Hulk out and kill both officers really easily, like it takes 3 swings. Oh yeah, we also learned that he killed a treasury employee, who I think is the same guy who told Sasaki not to let Oniwakamaru out of prison, but I don't know, it could be a different guy. We see Mugen and this random-ass lady helped on the road about to have sexual intercourse when she suddenly makes him swallow a one-night mushroom, which turns into a deadly poison when drank with sake, and kills you, and you guessed it, one night. The lady's name is Hotaru, which isn't important at all, and she tells Mugen that a one-armed man hired her to do this, and he has the antidote along with Fu. Newsflash, the one-armed man is Sasaki. While Mugen is trying to find Sasaki and Fu, Jin is being led into a forest by a samurai he met at the tea house who knows of the Sunflower Samurai. This samurai, as he calls himself, turns out to be an assassin hired by Sasaki. Oniwakamaru and Sasaki ambush Mugen, but much to Sasaki's anger, Mugen doesn't remember him or his arm. Oniwakamaru and Mugen battle it out, and just before Oniwakamaru is about to kill Mugen, Sasaki stops him because he wants Mugen to suffer long and hard by his hand. He starts to drown Mugen, but Fu knocks him into the water, which causes him to go after Fu. He does the whole bad guy spiel, talking about why he's a bad guy, and he says he wants to take his suffering and share it with everyone around him, which is probably the wrong thing to say when your deformed bodyguard has been abused by a lot of people. This is proven to be the wrong thing to have said because Oniwakamaru turns on Sasaki, grabs him, and breaks his fucking neck. Now I have to admit, the amount of planning and steps my boy Ryujiro Sasaki took in order to get revenge on Mugen and Jin is actually impressive. This man hired a pretty good assassin to fight and kill Jin, some random ass lady to poison Mugen, and broke an ogre out of jail. to be his muscle. He also threatened an innkeeper to work for him and then killed that innkeeper. He killed 2 police officers and a treasury employee and set up a shack, all in order to kill 2 people. And while this might sound like overkill, Sasaki knew both Jin and Mugen would kick his ass in a fair fight, so he used some of that Batman prep time. And to be fair, he was about to kill Mugen, but he didn't expect his muscle to turn on him and kill him. All in all, I think Sasaki was a decent protagonist for the second episode of the series. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed and want more, go and check out my channel. Other than that, have a blessed day. Goodbye.
It's finished. I guess this is the end. Looking back, my life has been nothing but failure. The tale of Jiraiya the Gallant.